Hey, what's up guys? DiplexHeated here again. Welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy at War. Sorry for not uploading all too many videos this week. I believe this is the first one for this week of December. And there's going to be more ahead. I've been in Dubai for a week. It was quite nice to get away from the cold here in Sweden. But I'm back to the grind, back to the work. And today we're going to finish the battle, or test rather, that we started last Sunday, I believe. We're going to see exactly how many clones, or how many droids one clone can deal with. So far, the 2-to-1 ratio, 2 droids per 1 clone, isn't looking very good at all. In fact, here on the left side, from the clone's point of view, the crash site, 40 droids went up against 20 clones and all droids survived. So for this final fort battle here, which I'm going to explain soon, all 40 droids will be present. Well, might as well just go through the fort as the camera is slowly and cinematically panning onto it. We've got 24 clones in this fort. I've been thinking, if the clones were that superior to a droid, some have written that one clone could take on 50 droids, and that was actually the case in some of the battles, at least early on in the war, since the droids and the separatists had been sort of preparing for the war more than the clones. I have to obviously look into a larger variety of weapons and stuff for the clones. In the middle here, the ambush site, we had 60 droids going up against 30 clones. I've decided to leave 40 droids alive for the attack. The clones did kill droids here. I think it could have been close to 15 or so, but just to make things a little spicy and interesting, I've decided to keep 40 droids alive. 30 clone casualties dead, of course, every single one, and only 20 droids down. Here on the, well, right side, seen from the clone's perspective, we deployed 240 droids and 120 clones. All clones were wiped out, but I'm going to leave 160 droids alive. That would be 120 clone casualties and only 80 droid casualties, because I do recall seeing a lot of red droid casualties. I'm going to go ahead and snap out of the cinematic mode right around here, as a matter of fact. The clones pulled back, as you'll recall, but the droids took an unusually high amount of casualties compared to the other zones. Perhaps that's because the droids were more spread out and the clones were deployed quite tightly together over in this side here, so that they were able to deal a lot more casualties to the droids earlier on, but then they were ultimately pushed back when the more numbers came in. So what I've done back here is we have 240 surviving droids. We have 24 clones. Is this possibly going to be a clone victory? Is it even possible? That's 10 droids for one clone. If these were all the regular 501st with a DC-15A, no, not at all. But a lot of people, and something that I've been neglecting, is a variety of weaponry, variety of clones, using more special troops and special weaponry to counter the droids, who, for most of the part, would only be using the E5 blaster, I believe. So let's take a look at the clones and see what we've done today. We have, since it's 24 clones on 240 droids, I figured we'd deploy 4 clone commandos. So 4 clone commandos back here, with an interesting weapon. I believe that's I'm not sure what it's called, but it's definitely the commando weapon. Very good blaster. 4 of those are going to be defending it down here. And on the wall, we have 20 clones, 2 snipers, 20 regular DC-15As, and 2, look at this, the 2, what's it called? The Westar M6 or M5. I'm going to go ahead and get into the game. It's called the Z6 Rotary Blaster Cannon, but the clone itself, when deployed, is called something else. And I don't mind going into the editor here to just see that. It's the Z6 minigun. Yes, the Westar is something else. I believe that's like a rifle of some sort. So that would hopefully give the clones a bit of an advantage, but this is even worse odds than previously, but with larger variety when it comes to the guns. If this battle's a short one, I'm going to try and do a test with all-terrain tactical enforcers. I might even give the clones a second run. It all depends on how the battle turns out, but a lot of people have been saying that if you had 100 clones deployed, then you could have, what, 5,000 droids fighting them, and it would be possible for the clones to win. But that is all, of course, what you people say. In the movies and other things I've seen, the clones are always outnumbered, it seems. Even though, like, towards the end of the war, I'm sure the clone production was just absolutely fantastic and massive, and especially since the droids were starting to lose facilities all over the galaxy producing droids. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into a spectator mode. We're going to look at the fort. We're going to allow the droids to attack, and we're going to see what part 2 here will bring. In part 1, we had 3 different scenarios, 3 different cases: an ambush, a defensive position, and a regular even field battle. And the battle is on now for the fort. Let's see if the 24... Oh, got a little interrupted there by some of the minigun fire, which is absolutely insane. And droids are attacking now on all flanks. Let's see what that minigun is doing to the droids attacking here in the center. The 30 droids are pinned behind some of the destroyed all-terrain tactical enforcers. And huge numbers are coming up here on the side by the open fields. And they're putting a lot of fire on the defending clones, no doubt. Most of them are down now, currently suppressed. And what the clones cannot allow the droids to do here is to get too close. They really need to get those snipers, and especially these machine gunners, or minigunners in this case, they need to get them up and killing the droids as soon as possible. Because while the droids are grouped up and at a distance, these miniguns can do some serious damage. We're just going to see here as a few droids were blown back, but they're instantly suppressed and brought down again. Obviously, each scenario turns out differently, but if given the chance, the droids here with the miniguns, or the clones rather, sorry, could kill hundreds of droids. I've seen it done before, and I bet we can see it again. It all depends on the positioning, and right now, the droid fire is just overly intense here. The fort defended by 24 clones, currently being attacked by probably around 200 now remaining droids. It's just taking so much fire. So perhaps the answer, if these miniguns can prove to be extremely useful, is for the clones to always have a wider variety of weapons when battling the clones. We can see here that, or the droids rather, that all the flanks are starting to be destroyed now. The entire right side here of the wall has been killed. We have 1 minigunner left in the middle. And just for reference, how many has he killed? 13. That's not a bad number, but it's not a high one. I've honestly expected more. We have some droids rushing in. We've got clones covering the... Oh, clone commandos. Oh, there goes the last minigunner. It's very unfortunate, and there's just a handful of clones on the wall right now defending. That's going to be down to just a couple on the left side. It's not going to make a difference at all. It's going to be down to the commandos. Let's see how the 4 commandos will fare against the droids. Currently, they're just pinned. No casualties on for the commandos so far, though. Not really all too accurate fire there. But the droids who are trying to rush in are going to get shot down quite quickly by some of the defenders. Look at that. Some are rushing up here to try and get closer. They're going to try and flank around. Some of them are going to try and make it up to the wall. Just like that, where they're going to be throwing grenades at the defending clones. Oh god, 1 commando is down. Oh, grenades being thrown, but they're quickly detonated. And that's it. The clone fortress has been captured. 24 casualties. We'll go ahead and make sure that the droids are presented in red. And we can tell that just around the fort it's about a 1-to-1 ratio, but outside of it, not as good as I was expecting. I've seen better results, and I think we can get it. It all depends on how much the clones suppress the droids rather than being suppressed themselves. Let's try and add 2 more miniguns to the mix. So that is 4 out of 24. So that's a 20% of the force that has miniguns. Actually, a little less than that since they're 24. But I'm not sure how that many that would be, because if it was 24, then 2.5 of them would be 10%, 20% would be roughly 4.8, which would be about 5 clone troopers, so it's only 4, so yeah, a good portion nonetheless. We'll see how that will counter the droid attack. I will be back in just a second, and we're going to see if it's really possible to give the clones a victory here in such a crazy scenario with 1 clone per every 10 droids. 240 droids attacking. Alright guys, we have 4 C6 minigunners deployed now. 1 per section. There's 4 at the front. And we still have the 4 clone commandos at the back covering the entrance. We'll see if adding twice the amount of minigunners... Oh lord, that is loud. I can't hear myself talk. If that is going to make a difference. But instantly the droids are quick to suppress the attacking or the defending clones. But look here on the right side. It's just a quick display of what this minigun can do when it's put to action. It is just blowing these droids away. And instantly we've got just a dozen of casualties here. That is absolutely insane. It's going to be preferred to hit big groupings of droids. If those miniguns can do that, then they're going to just tear them to pieces. There's going to be nothing left of those droid formations. But if they allow the droids to kind of spread out and to suppress the clones, then that is not going to give the clones the advantage they're looking for. Some are patching up here, but only deploying 2 more of these miniguns, and you can instantly hear how the clones are now suppressing the droids. They're hardly suppressed anymore. They're going down for 2 seconds and then they're going up to fire again. Before, they would stay down for a longer time, and it's important that they're patching up. Let's look at some of the droid casualties up here. If a minigunner could strike them here, look at that casualty. Oh my god, they're just... That was a dozen droids, if not more. 2 dozen killed in a matter of seconds. Look at them, how they're blown back. Can the 24 clones hold this fort? So far, a lot of casualties on the left side here, but all minigunners are still active, and they're just shredding. Absolutely just shredding the droids. 3 minigunners alive now. 1 is patching up. Another one's taking a lot of fire. 1 has gone down, and the right is taking a lot of fire now. But have they dealt enough damage to the droids to actually survive this? Remember, still 3 minigunners alive, firing away. But what they don't want to do is to take too much fire, because then they'll die off quite easily. But look, the droid attack has come to a bit of a halt. Let's take a little cheeky sneak peek at some of the casualties. And, well, right off the bat, a lot of droids are blown back. Not everyone is killed, though. Over here, I thought we'd see more casualties than we did. But some of them got up again. I presume it depends on how accurate your hits are. In the center, this attack is pretty much dead. No droids are really pushing for it. The right side, or the left side seen from the droids, or from the clones rather, has been impaired, so to speak. That attack is non-existent. It's really down to the droids on the right side of the fort to get this going, and right now they don't seem to be too eager to push. Those miniguns are still spinning away. We have 1, 2, only 2 active now. And lots of other clones are falling. But for a second there's a bit of a peaceful ceasefire. Oh, you can't be killed. There's 1 droid down there, staring it off with 1 minigunner, who's going to, I believe, heal or try and throw a hand grenade at him. Yeah, he's thinking about it. To let 1 droid kill minigunner, which would be the last one. No, it would be the second to last. Would be a big blow to the clones defending. Okay, so right now, most of these droids are retreating. And the firefight is back on. And the minigunners are just still shredding up the droids attacking. Many were on their way back to retreat because the firefight came to a bit of a halt. But you can tell right now that this is looking a lot brighter, with 24 clones just having 4 minigunners, so to speak, just makes a huge difference. Absolutely colossal. This is very interesting to behold, so to speak. The firepower is just absolutely insane. 1 of the 2 remaining minigunners are down. That leaves 1 remaining. So in an interesting scenario, I presume if you deployed 1 per 10 clones and had 10 of these out of 100 clones fighting 1,000 droids, could that be a decent scenario? I have no idea. It depends on the terrain, the positioning, the high ground or not. Those minigunners would essentially be just as easily killed as any other clone on the field. So that might not make a difference. But there's only one minigunner remaining. The droids on the left side of the fort have been more or less eliminated. The middle is not very strong at all. But the droids attacking from the right side have regained their footing. And this is really interesting because I have done tests with this scenario just previously, just to make sure that it's somewhat enjoyable and that it's obviously not too easy or too hard, because what's the point of proving something that's obvious? And I've seen varying results. That's it, all minigunners are down. It's down to the commandos defending the inside of the fort right now to see how well they can do. The clones have definitely been cut down in numbers severely. On this side, I think they've lost about half of their numbers. Middle, more than half, and on the left side, almost the entire force. I think it's possible for the clones to be able to hold it. And if the 4 commandos in the center can hold it, then we've proved that with some variety in the composition, some commandos, some elite troops, a bit of different weaponry, some heavier armaments. I've never seen this minigun before, but I think I have in some sketches or something, but not in the movie as far as I'm concerned. I'm pretty sure that in the future like that we could get more interesting battles out that are more realistic. Because 200 clones versus 200 droids, it seems to always give the clones a victory. If they're now coded and programmed in the mod to be the better fighter, which they should be. But this is obviously a game. If this was played online, it would have to be adjusted so that it would be fair for all the participating players, no matter the faction you played. Look at that commando just cutting them down. 1 down now. 2 down, as a matter of fact. 2 commandos remain. I wonder how they're going to get out of this one. No, don't throw a grenade. Dude, turn around. They're behind you. Oh, and he's cut down as he was shooting down a few other droids. And the 4th commando is down as well. Casualties tell a whole different story this time around. Plenty of droids dead in the by the entrance here. But so many have survived. We're going to allow them to head back to their original positions. We're going to do it times 10. And everyone's going to be running back. And then we're going to calculate and see exactly how many droids have survived after the attack on the 24 defending clones. And after this, we can do a little AAT, sorry, rather, versus the all-terrain tactical enforcer, and see exactly how many AATs it takes to take down an all-terrain tactical enforcer. And in the game, it has shields, which is very useful, of course. But I heard that realistically in the story, that the all-terrain tactical enforcers were dependent on the physical hull, and they didn't have shields. So that's interesting to know. Right. So everyone's heading back to their original positions. On this side, we have 9 surviving droids out of the 20 attacking. So that's a little more than I thought, but obviously they're easily disguised in the terrain. That's 9 surviving. And here we have a whole lot more. This is almost a full formation of 20. They're missing exactly 3, and there's only 3 formed back here. So that's 20. They lost half. So they lost half. These guys lost, well, 55% or something like that. If they have 9 surviving out of 20. Or they had 40 attacking, so actually that's a lot less than that. That's like 22% or something like that, 23. And 22.5, I don't know. And on this side, it's looking a lot better. This is 20, more or less. Let's say 35, 50. Oh, it's hard to count. I think I'll do it the correct way here, which is to just select these units, so we can get an accurate count. Obviously without selecting any weapons or any corpses. See, that would be a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4 minus, oh, we'll just do it like that. The rest are killed in action. And then these guys are fairly easy to select. No funny business. That would be everyone. 83. It's 112. So the clones managed to kill almost exactly half of the attacking force, a little less than half of the attacking force. If they'd killed 8 more, then they would have killed 50%, which would have been 120 for 24 clones. That sounds like a good idea. We're going to give this one more go, and if you don't want to see it, then skip ahead in the video to the vehicle test, which I'm also excited to see. And yeah, I think the clones can do it. I just want to give them one more variation. This game is very random. Every time you click start, you will have a different outcome. And it all comes down to the variation, the randomness, what you hit, what you miss, exactly, all of that. So let's give them one more variation, one more chance to see if it could have gone different. All right, guys, is the third time the charm for the clones. We'll find out. Oops, that is a very fast decision. Let's bring it down to the normal speed so that we can enjoy the battle. And God, is it loud. It always catches me off guard, because as soon as these guys die, I increase the volume on my headset. Because I'm thinking, like, it's awfully low, or like quiet rather. And then I forget that I turned it up, and once these start blasting out, it's just complete destruction. So it all comes down to really the spread and everything else, I guess. And right now, since the clones aren't really suppressing the droids all too heavily towards the middle of the fight, so to speak, the droids have time to gather themselves in a bigger force, which makes them a lot harder to defeat. And already one of the gunners are down, so I'm going to try this in a different way. I'm going to go ahead and actually pick up the gun, put him back in the position, and see how he'll do. So as soon as we lose one of the gunners, we'll have someone else crew them, or pick up the guns and continue fighting in their spirit, so to speak. And we'll see how that works out. Now that is technically, of course, me controlling the clones, but realistically I feel as if someone had a superior weapon and they died, you would of course pick them up. So this might work more in the favor of a super realistic scenario where the clone's AI would be superior in a way that it would actually pick up the weapons and fight. So why aren't you shooting? Do you not have any ammunition? You have plenty of ammo. Just start using it. There you go. It was positioned a little bit inaccurately there. But these miniguns are just shredding away. And look up here. Oh, yes. They've actually gotten the droids in a really good position where they've managed to sort of catch them off guard. And mind you, before you comment, the one man that I told to crew the minigun, which would be the guy on the right side here, he was not part in the destruction of these droids. He just started shooting now. He was actually fumbling about, probably because of my positioning. So the third time, it seems as if the clones are just absolutely destroying the droids. They seem to have no chance whatsoever. And let's take a look at some of the numbers here. This one's killed 48 droids. 48 droids. 46. 16 on the left side, which is a lot less. But these guys are getting up into their 50s soon. 50 on the one on the left. And 50. That's 100 droids. Listen. Out of the 240 deployed, 2 minigunners here, without me controlling them or having them do anything differently, have killed 100 droids. The one on the right here is sitting at a low number of 9. He's not even given the chance to kill anyone. Could be because he probably has run out of ammunition. So I think I'll just have him go back to his regular DC-15A, because despite the fact that I told him to pick up one of the miniguns, it hasn't changed the outcome of the battle. The third time, maybe this is a 33% chance. Every time you click start, it's going to go differently, obviously. And maybe 1 out of 3 times, the clones will be hitting the right shots. They will be targeting the right clones, or droids, rather. They will be targeting the right droids, and they will be doing the right damage without being suppressed and killed early on. Perhaps the droids will be performing less. 1 out of 3 times, they'll be less suppressive. I have no clue. But right now, I don't think the droids are going to be able to recover from this. Look at the amount coming up here. There's no way 24 droids on this side are going to be suppressing anyone on that fort. They're going to get blown away. And so far, not all too many casualties on the clone side at all. And we're looking at 4. So 20 clones remaining. That's a few more there. It just went down quickly. That really increased in just a matter of seconds. Let's see what a few droids can do. In a one-on-one situation, the droids are just as dangerous as the clones. And we've seen that before when we did a massive line battle between clones and droids, that the what's it called? The droids were actually superior in a situation like that, which is quite interesting. Oh, look at this, the destruction of the side. This attack has been entirely halted. There are barely any droids left that can push through this attack. No reinforcements back here that haven't been committed to the fight yet. So yeah, deploy one minigun per a 5-man squad. If the resources and manufacturing capabilities of the Republic would be great enough for that, I have no clue. Then yeah, you can get yourself a pretty unfair battle with 240 droids versus 24 clones. You'd need twice that number probably to change the tide. But remember, this is only 1 out of the 3 times. If I click start again, will we have a repeated case? I don't think so. It'll probably be another 2 droid victories in a row, perhaps, and then another clone victory. It all, you know, it's all random, but we've proven with 3 times here that it's 1 out of 3 times. So far, so good. What are we looking at here? 61 casualties cost, 77. Jeez, that's over 100. Man, that's like 150. That is absolutely insane. It's 138 to be exact. Few more casualties now, and they're going to be making it to that 140 mark and soon 150 mark before the end of this battle. I don't even think we need to watch this go out, so to speak. There are probably less droids deployed on the field right now than there are clones back in that fort. They're hard to see, obviously, but the center's been completely wiped out. Just 1 droid sitting back there, and this side is got a few clankers behind here. Clankers? I can't remember what to say. Behind that little hill. They're not going to be of any trouble to any clones in here. Wow. That's amazing. Let's head over to the vehicle test and let's be done with this testing session so that in the future, with future battles that I do between droids and clones, that we can have more exciting results. I want to do more alternative battles without just, you know, giving the clones an easy victory or the other way around. I like the randomized fact. Obviously, I enjoy the battle more when I don't know who's going to win, but do keep in mind that when we are recreating historical battles, so to speak, I am going to aim for a realistic outcome just for the fact that I find that quite interesting to kind of relive history. Although it's really interesting to change it too. So, let's head over to the vehicle test. I will be right back. We're going to let the droids just fire off a few final salvos, or the clones rather. Fire off a few final salvos. What would happen if I took the remaining droids on this side and did kind of a kamikaze charge at the enemy to try and get as close as possible to the fort? Can they get there unnoticed? Cover of the forest line. Yeah, their droids on this side is providing suppressing fire. Then they're caught off guard, and they are just slaughtered. Look at that. How to defend a fort? Use miniguns. And that's a win. That's a win. Oh my lord! Look at that. So how many casualties are we looking at here? 75. 94. This guy's going to be at 100 soon. These two together have almost killed 200. Sorry about the bloody vibrations on my phone there. Imbecile phone. Almost killed 200 out of the 240 droids. I mean, we'll look at some other clones here. This guy's cut down 3. I don't know. 2, 1. Perhaps that's just by chance. 1. 94, of course. 1, 2, 2. So not any great results from the average clone. Are we looking at any casualties from any of the droids here that are alive? Have anyone killed anything? The ones that have killed defending clones are probably dead. Can we find... Yeah, this guy's killed 1. He's alive. This one's also killed 1. This one's also killed 1. So... Oh, this one's killed 3. Red 83, you are the hero droid. You've actually killed 3 clones who are so much more heavily trained and better fighters than you. That is pretty impressive. He's probably taken out 3 out of the 4 on this side. Cool stuff. But anyway... let's go to the vehicle test. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon again. Alright, so in this vehicle test, we're going to start out with 1 ATTE versus 1 AAT. And instantly they're both opening up at each other. We've got the main gun of this all-terrain tactical enforcer not currently targeting the AAT, but some of the secondary guns down here are shooting. There we go. It took the the hit of an AAT main gun for the main gun of the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer to react. And there we go, the battle is already over. It shot one shot before the killing shot, which I think missed the AAT. The AAT fired twice. I believe it hit the bottom of the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer with the first one, which hit its shields that it historically did not have. The second one missed, and the second shot of the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer here destroyed the AAT. So we're going to deploy 2 AATs for the next round, and we're going to see what the or how the clone All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer will face off the outnumbered situation, so to speak. Alright, see you in a second. Alright, let's see what 2 droid AATs will do against 1 All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. And right off the bat, the droids missed, and they shot on both sides of the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. Obviously not a hit. I think they just fired again. Both missed. The All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer has not yet decided to engage the droids. It fired once early on. I think it's like a reaction. They shoot as soon as they see the enemy without actually aiming the guns. 2 hits there from the All-Terrain, or sorry, AATs. They should not start with A. There's too many A's and T's in both of these names for both of these factions, which actually messes with my head. Now, 2 hits on 1 AAT from the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer has not yet disabled one of the 2, which is quite interesting. The AATs have gotten in, I think, 4 total hits so far. That would be around 5 because 1 hit the ground and 1 of the AATs are down. That's going to be a one-on-one in this situation. Another hit, kind of hit below it, I think, or penetrated the lower section. Not a kill shot, not in a critical area. That's a second one. It hit the bottom here. We can actually see the impacts right here, I think. And a third shot, which hit the top of it, has knocked it out. This All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer is doing fine. It's been hit several times, but it's still active. Let's try 3 AATs against 1 All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. Okay, let's test it out and see if 3 AATs will be enough to take down 1 All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. And once we're done with this test, we'll know exactly what kind of numbers we need to stick to in the future when making scenarios like this. And once we've gotten the result of one of these battles, or this test rather, the vehicular test, I'm gonna, I think, combine as many All-Terrain Tactical Enforcers and as many AATs it takes to be even, and the same amount of clones and droids that we had in the previous test, just somewhere in between. Obviously, we're not going to deploy 240 droids, but perhaps cut that down to half and deploy just a lot less clones, and see if we can get a really cool battle without any, conclusive result within the first, minute or 2 of the battle. So let's see how 3 AATs will fare against 1 All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. 3 misses right off the bat, and the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer is currently picking targets. He didn't actually shoot at the main round yet. He's still picking. We might have just missed the projectile, so to speak, because we just had a hit in front of one of the AATs. Still, the shields are holding. Boom! Hit at the top, and the AAT is still active. 3 shots, 1 hit below the belly there. Oh, I thought that would have been a kill shot. Both of those hits were at the top. All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer still active. It's chosen to change its target. It just fired at the one in the middle, and that could have been the first or second hit, but it is down. The All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer is now starting to take some serious damage, though. It's burning. And how many will it be able to take down? Oh, and it's down! So the firepower from 3 AATs was enough to bring down 1 All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. So in the next test, we're not going to do 3 AATs versus 2 All-Terrain Tactical Enforcers. We're going to do 5 AATs versus 2. That might just be the perfect mix. Alright. See you in a second. Alright, we've deployed 5 AATs and 2 All-Terrain Tactical Enforcers. We're not going to do 6 AATs because the result was quite obvious doing 3 versus 1. The 3 won quite easily. So doing 6 versus 2 would just replicate that on a larger scale. 5 might be perfect. I think doing 4 versus 2 is going to give the 2 an upper hand. It's going to be just like doing 1 on 2, which was an easy victory for the all-terrain tactical enforcer. So this might just be the perfect mix. We'll see how it like scales. 4 on 10 would be the next step. 6 on 14. No, sorry. 6 on... Wait a minute. So twice. That would be 5 versus this amount. But then you can't do another 5 on 2. Yes, I guess 15 versus 6. Probably. If the game wouldn't crash or be able to handle that. We'll see. I think 15 AATs on 3 all-terrain tactical enforcers is going to give the 15 AATs an advantage, and they're probably going to win. So I think this only scales to about 10 AATs versus 4 all-terrain tactical enforcers. After that, it's just going to get out of hand, even though it's scaling accurately. The numbers might just be too much. So let's click start and let's see what happens. And if the all-terrain tactical enforcers target the same AAT, they might do like excellent. But right now, there we go. Oh, I think one of those was a miss. Some of the AATs are moving around now and they're shooting. One's already down. Look, that was the first hit. Second one shot as well. That one's down too. Was one of these brought down from the secondary guns? That is a possibility. More shots fired. Still 3 alive versus 2 all-terrain tactical enforcers. Remember that they've taken a lot of hits now. Anytime, one might start burning now, any second. That's 3 AATs down, 2 currently active. The firepower has drastically decreased, but the shots are still off. Oh, look at that. Wow. I think we might have to do one more test after this. 4 AATs down, 1 still standing, but the all-terrain tactical enforcers are not giving off any signs of taking any proper damage yet. And that's it. Man, it's scaled so differently there. That is interesting. That is really interesting. Let's try 10 on 4. Let's see how 10 on 4 looks. It might just make for an easier job for the droids. We'll have to find out. See you in just a second. Alright guys, the final test. 10 AATs versus 4 all-terrain tactical enforcers. Bit of spacing to make things interesting. I think this might be the perfect mix. Just because of the sheer amount of firepower. Obviously, the firepower has doubled for the all-terrain tactical enforcers too. But I think 10 might just play a bigger number than 5 previously, especially if they all target the same ATTE, so to speak. So let's click start and let's see what happens in a scenario just like this. Most of the AATs are going to be moving up to get into better positions. I think the closer they get to the all-terrain tactical enforcers, the better. Look at some of the focused firing. And, oh, that's 1 down. This is an insane battle. 2 down, but 8 remain. Oh, we might see a few more going down as well. 7 remaining, I believe. Make that 6. And so far, not a single all-terrain tactical enforcer has gone down. Oh, one's burning. That's 1 down. Look at that. Lots of misses there from the all-terrain tactical enforcers who are currently on the move. Oh, another one is starting to catch on fire now, I believe. It's giving off warning signals at least. Yep, there we go. 4 AATs remain. 2 all-terrain tactical enforcers are about to remain. 1 just went up into an explosion. This might be the perfect mix. You might just have to scale it up a little bit more. Boom. Well, that's it. 3 remaining versus 2. If they can cause the destruction of 1 more, I will be quite pleased with the results. But I think it might be a little difficult. Whoa, this one just took a leap. Okay. Very cute. It's on its back now, with its belly facing up. We might just have to face the fact that the Republic vehicles were just a whole lot better. That clone armor is just superior to almost all Confederate production, it seems. which is also why they had a lot less, I presume. They took up more space. They were usually bigger in this case, I presume. And the AATs had the numbers. The AATs is just basically a pretty simple hover tank with advanced weaponry. But the all-terrain tactical enforcer has... well, it's an all-terrain tactical enforcer. It's everything you need. One still remain though, and it's not going down yet. Can this last guy take out one more of the AATs? I'm not sure. I think it depends on positioning, and no, that is not the case. We might just have to, well, settle for this result. Let's deploy some clones. I'm aware of the fact that this is a very long video, but it's nice to do all the testing, and we'll see what happens in just a second. Alright, so for the final test in theory, I've decided to go with the 33%, 1/3. So, 1/3 of the droid force represented by clones. So that would give us 10 AATs, and I've rounded that down to roughly 3 all-terrain tactical enforcers. We have 30 clones, we have 100 droids. I know I should technically deploy 3 more clones to make that 33%, so to speak, but I've decided to go with more stable numbers, so to speak, not so uneven. So let's see what happens. This could be a clone victory. I don't know. We've got 3 miniguns deployed, and we saw what 2 did, technically just 2, to, well, over 175 droids. Jeez. But then again, they were defended, they were propped up, they were behind cover. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I'm going to bet on the clones, just because the odds look overwhelming, but they might just be realistic. They might just be what the droids need. If the droids win, and if it's not a clear victory, then I think we've achieved a pretty good mix. Someone's got to be the winner. We could do 2 runs of this battle, which would make this like an hour-long video. Fine, let's do that. And if we get 2 different results the 2 times, I'm happy. I'm happy with the odds. But everything plays a role in this case. So let's click start and let's see what happens. I think the all-terrain tactical enforcers guns are going to come into use here, the secondary weapons. And right off the back, the clones are like forced to retreat, which makes all the sense because the droid numbers are just so overwhelming. The AI triggers a retreat here, and I'm not going to play around with any AI numbers or anything like that. Look at that. Oh, God. So, obviously, the clones on the ground aren't going to be able to do anything against the storming AATs. They can't really be dealt with right now. The clones, if they had AAT weaponry, which they don't, then I presume that'd be a different story. Droids are, like, pushing back. Many AATs have gone down, but this one is about to fall. You can hear the alarming sounds. It's going to move a bit first, though. Is it going to try and blow up in their faces? More shots fired. 6 remain out of the attacking 4 AATs. 6 versus 2. This is what I thought was undoable for the clones, because if we did 1 versus 3, it seemed as if the 3 AATs won quite easily. Now 6 versus 2. This might be bad. I have no idea. Shields hit back there. Oh, Lord, it's burning. Wait, 33%. So if we did 1/3, they would have... Ah, okay. We might have to adjust this a little bit. I think I've done a few miscalculations, like a stupido. So I'll... That one's down, so that's 2 down. Hey, well, actually, 3 remain. One's gonna go down now. Clones back on the ground. They have not got much of a chance to turn this around. They're all pushed back. But look at the droids. They've taken so many casualties. Let's try this one more time. I'm just eager to see what happens. Okay, so 3 surviving AATs. It's not a great deal. All clones seem to be alive, but they're going to be killed by the AATs and the remaining droids probably. So let's turn things around. Well, look at the amount of droid casualties so far. Alright, see you in just a second. Alright, so for the final adjustment of this final epic test, I've cut the AAT number down to 9, so we have 9 AATs and 3 ATTEs. Hopefully that'll scale perfectly, because 3 on 1, it was too hard for the all-terrain tactical enforcers to do that. Simply 3 AATs would just like bully 1 and it'd go down before killing even more than 1. you think that might be the same deal since we've got 9 versus 3. That's technically 3 AATs per every single ATTE. Well, when the firepower of the all-terrain tactical enforcers are increased, it doesn't seem to scale as when the AAT's firepower is increased. They simply don't do the same. It's like this: the firepower of one ATTE doubled is better than the firepower of 2 or 3 AATs doubled. That's at least what this game is trying to tell me. We have still got 100 droids, but since I was talking about variety on the field, I've decided to indeed deploy 33%. So 33 clones, and this time more variety, 3 bazookas. That might just even out the armor indifference there. I'm going to click start. I'm going to go ahead and just disable the minimap because it's in the way. Make sure that I'm not controlling anyone, and let's see what happens this time around. So the vehicles will come into play here, obviously playing a large role against the attacking droids on the ground, even the infantry. Clones are pulling back, which was kind of expected. But seeing as most of the Clone Wars would be combined arms warfare with vehicles on both sides and droids and clones, everyone plays a role. What the clones cannot, you know, do on the ground with their weapons, their vehicles can help and support. So I don't know, this isn't looking great already. Geez, 1 all-terrain tactical enforcer down, 4 AATs down though. Hey, this might just be the perfect. They have scaled better this time around. It's 1 for 4, but that's 2 on 6 or 2 on 5 remaining. Jeez, stop wasting rounds. They're really wasting rounds shooting at stuff like that randomly. Oh, that's 1 more down. 4 on 2. That's soon going to be 1. Oh, that's 3 on 2. That's soon going to be 3 on 1. But I think if this guy can get off 1 more shot. Oh, I don't think so. Oh god. Nope. But it might just be 1 on 2 in the end, because these 3 have to. No. Oh, they're turning their guns. 2 of them fired prematurely. I don't know why. 3 of them fired prematurely. That's 1 on 2. This might be the perfect mix. We'll see what it comes down to. Oh, it missed. Don't miss. They all missed. They're too close to each other. If he misses again, then it's a show that they're... Yes, they're too close. Okay, so I'm gonna separate these guys out a bit. There you go. So, 2 remain. If they bring down this guy... Well, now he's burning. He's gonna get max 1 more shot off. If it's only 1 AAT remaining after this, then I think we've reached the perfect result. Yeah, look at that. That's bloody brilliant. Now with some help of clones on the ground, that could turn quickly. They've all kind of pulled back, which is a shame. They shouldn't. But how's it looking on droid casualties so far? So many. And I didn't hear any clones open up, so this might be the perfect opportunity for the clones to snag a victory here. Let's look at the minimap. They're all spread out everywhere. Droids are still very much combat active. This guy's stuck. Unstuck him. Just, you know, have him move up at the enemy as he would. Or it, rather. I guess robots don't have a gender, but shows don't have any female voice codecs. I'm sure there are, though. Okay, move up. What are you doing? Battle the clones. You're on the attack here. So, not a single clone soldier on the ground. Perhaps a few dead. 1 seems to be dead over there, but otherwise it's just the crew. No, it's moving up. Now is when the bazookas need to really act. And this is where they cannot be like hidden back here. And I don't mean to control these guys as like controlling them to give them a victory, because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just making sure that all the units play their role. So this bazooka would, if used perfectly, he would actually disable. And we saw some miniguns firing, and I don't see a lot of droids on the ground really pushing for this. So I think we're going to conclude this final battle that this is pretty good. I like large number of clones, and I think a large number of clones with miniguns would just make it super unfair for the droids. So maybe not scale. We deployed 3 for 30 per 30 clones. Maybe if we deploy 100, we wouldn't deploy 5, but more like, or we wouldn't deploy 10 rather, but more like 5. So maybe half of the clone force in minigunners could be better. And then obviously have like 200 droids deployed. I think that might just be the better scenario, or even 300 if that's the case. But vehicular wise, 1 per 3, 1 ATTE for 2 AATs, 2 ATTEs for 5 AATs, and 3 on 9, and then 4 on perhaps 12 or 11, possibly 11. It's good to have a little benchmark for this. So this has been a really long test battle. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And I just wanted to conclude this in part 2. And I will see you guys soon again with more battles in the future without all of this testing stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon again. Bye.